What's up, my friends? Welcome to day 4 of the Build a Better Athlete Challenge. As promised, here is your day 4 bonus video. So today is all about setting up your habits and routines. Okay. Yesterday we talked about the 3 pillars of being a badass athlete and living an awesome life, right? Strategy, accountability, and mindset. Now, what I want to talk about today is really how to set those things up in your daily life. So yesterday was about identifying where the gaps are, right? And really looking at like, okay, what are the areas that I'm really falling through on? And now today is about setting up the plan, right? So it's one thing to know, okay, these are the things I have to improve on, but it's another to know what's that going to look like in your day-to-day life every single day. And the reality of it is that, we are what we repeatedly do, right? Isn't there like a Socrates quote about that or something? Like success is not an act, but a habit. Right? And so it's the things that we're doing over and over and over again that are really determining what our life is. And people who don't like routines, they rarely end up becoming successful and they end up staying where they're at because they end up being all over the place. Or maybe you're like me back in the day where my routine was having no routine. I woke up, I was a shit show, I was all over the place, I felt like I could never catch a breath. And it's because I never took that little bit of time to actually create and structure routines that would actually allow me to think less. I thought that it was me doing more work, but what it actually was me doing less work, right? And so if you look at the most successful people on the planet, what you're going to find out is those people have routines. They have things that they do on a regular basis. And over time, sorry, I have something in my eye. I don't know what's happening here. But over time, those things, they become part of who you are. Like you no longer think about them anymore. And in the beginning, it can feel like a lot of work. But doing the work up front equals less work later. Okay? And so it's really important to understand that yes, you're going to put in some time right now, but you actually don't have time not to put in time right now. Because if you're someone who says, I don't have time, if you're someone who's super stressed out, if you're someone who's running all over the place, then you're going to save future you a shitload of stress by simply taking the time to set up these routines. Okay. So, like I said, my routine used to be no routine. So if you feel like you've never had routines before, don't worry. I promise you can build this stuff. You're not broken. It's just no one's ever taught you. But think about all the other things that you've learned how to do in your life. I promise you, if you could learn all of the things that you know how to do now, you can definitely learn how to have routines. And it's just a matter of setting them up. So a couple different kinds of routines we're going to talk about: mindset routines, morning and evening routines, strategy routines, and accountability routines. Okay. So obviously, some of this stuff I go way more into depth in a lot of my programs, like the Fat Loss Blueprint or Crash Course in Transformation or any of the other programs that we have. We continue to build on this stuff. But when it comes, for example, to mindset routines, we talked a little bit yesterday about having a progress mindset versus a perfectionist mindset. And one of the ways you can do this is whatever you reward, you repeat. And you can write that down. Whatever you reward, you repeat. And so setting up little bits of celebration and acknowledgement for yourself every day actually goes a long way. One of the things inside of the Crash Course in Transformation page, we always have people sharing wins. On our group calls, we have people sharing wins. I start off every single coaching call I ever do with wins because I want to get people in the mindset of celebrating. And so my question for you is right now, is your routine that at the end of the day, you sit down and go, well, I did this wrong, did that wrong, didn't get this done, blah, 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 this went wrong, this was awful, which is what it is for most people. Or at the end of the day, do you really pause and intentionally ask yourself, what did I do really great today? What are some things that I overcame? What are some things that I actually checked off? Maybe you ate all of your meal plan for the day. Maybe you didn't motorboat 700 donuts. Maybe you did that workout you really didn't want to do. Maybe, it's something even smaller than that and you just didn't hit the snooze button, right? Acknowledging yourself is going to be a huge part of it. So for me, I like writing a to-do list every day. And then what I do, I write it on a Post-it, and at the end of the day, I crumple it all up and I throw it away. And it feels so good. And just something as little as that makes your body feel so much better. It makes your mind feel so much better that it makes you want to continue to reward these things. Okay. So having a mindset of celebration, right? Also at the end of your day, do you have any kind of a reflection routine? I did a program a little while ago called Shine Your Motherfucking Light, which was a 21-day journaling program. And we talked a lot about, at the end of the day, and we do this in Crash Course in Transformation too, of writing down 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things you're manifesting, and 3 things you learned that day. A simple mindset routine as easy as that can change your whole life, because it allows you to go to sleep in a better mindset than, didn't do this, didn't do that, and then you fall asleep in that and wake up in that, and you just start this vicious cycle. But if you can fall asleep in gratitude, you're gonna sleep better, you're gonna stress less, you're gonna wake up better, right? So little teeny routines. Now the second set of routines is morning routines. So morning routines and evening routines. So most people wake up, they roll out of bed, they fucking run all over their house like a crazy person and then run out the door, right? Or even worse, maybe you're working from home and you literally roll out of bed and go straight into your computer. Like, oh my God. But one of the things you want to do is really powerfully set up your morning, taking whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever it is for you to powerfully set up your day. So for me, morning routine, and especially like, obviously I live down in Costa Rica now. My morning routine is like wake up, journal, meditate, surf, right? Then come back, get to work. But for example, when I was living in the US, my morning routine literally went wake up, go to the gym. Well, first I would wake up, I'd hit the snooze button 1 time. I would sit and I would think about things that I was grateful for the 8 minutes of my snooze button. And then I would get up and then I would go and I would drink some green tea. I would go to the gym. I would do my workout. I would come home. I would read my personal development book. I would journal a little bit and then I would start my day. Right? Imagine if you just did 5 minutes of each of those things. Imagine if you woke up, you did a 5-minute workout, you read 5 minutes of a book, you journaled for 5 minutes, you meditated for 5 minutes, and then you ate something healthy for you for breakfast. That's 25 minutes of your entire life that will literally transform your entire day. Okay. And then similarly in the evening, most people, they sit around and they go, oh my God, I'm just going to like watch Netflix until I pass out in front of the TV. Or even worse, oh my God, I have a TV in my room and I'm just going to like watch this TV until I pass out, wake up in the middle of the night, turn it off. Oh, you guys. But having great evening routines, so doing that journaling practice of gratitude before bed, having something that maybe you read, or maybe you're like puzzling, or like doing something without screen time, without blue light, is going to be huge for having evening routines. If you're someone who says they're not a morning person, I invite you to take a look at your evening routines, because my guess is that if you are not a morning person, it's because you have shitty evening routines. So where can you, over the course of the next, let's say 1 week, 2 weeks, 12 weeks, 90 days, whatever, where do you need to start shifting your morning routines? Where do you need to start shifting your evening routines? Where can you start incorporating in gratitude or meditation as mindset routines? It's these little things, you guys. It sounds like they don't make a huge difference, but I'm telling you, they are the difference between thriving and drowning in your life. Now, second to final one is strategy routines. So these are the things we're doing on a regular basis. We talked a little bit about this yesterday in terms of nutrition, sleep, water, those kinds of things. But my question for you, yesterday we talked about what do you need to adjust. So today is about in each of those areas, right, with your food, with your sleep, with your rest, with your water, how can you set those up as specific routines? What is a nutrition routine going to look like for you? Especially when I was living back in the US, when I was working at a job in an office, like I very specifically had a setup Sunday, and I teach all of my clients how to do this in KCIT. I had a very specific setup Sunday, and then I would plan out my meals for the entire week. I'd plug everything into my MyFitnessPal on Sunday. I would like do the whole damn thing. Everything was ready. Even if I wasn't going to like pre-Tupperware out meals or something, I would still have the groceries. I would still have everything in front of me. So when I came home from work, I could just cook that stuff. It was fresh. It was delicious. Maybe I ate the rest of it for lunch the next day, but I had it all planned out. So you want to really take a look at, do you have nutrition routines, or are you flying by the seat of your pants? If you did have nutrition routines, what would it look like for you to set up a day so that you could be getting in your protein, your veggies, your carbs, all of those things, so that you can really ensure that you're eating the things that are going to fuel your body. Now, when we do the fat loss blueprint, I'm going to be going a little bit deeper into that stuff as well, because obviously for fat loss, there are specific combinations of foods you want to be eating, specific amounts of calories, carbs, proteins, things like that. So we are going to dive in a little bit deeper on that. But obviously with what we've been talking about so far, your protein, veggie, carbs, like how are you really incorporating in those nutritional routines of like breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner? Are you a breakfast, lunch, dinner person? person? Are you just a lunch dinner person? But really not winging it is the key piece. Now, similarly, having your routines for sleep. Do you make your bed in the morning so when you go to bed at night, you have a really comfy, wonderful bed to fall into? Do you make sure that do you cover up all the light in your bedroom to make sure that you can get the best sleep possible? What routines do you have around sleep? And what routines do you have around rest? Do you have like a ceremonial day of the week that you rest? Maybe Saturdays you don't work out and instead you intentionally go outside and go for walks and you're in the sun. Like for me, part of my rest is like really just like stretching in the morning. For me, rest is also doing meditation. For me, rest is like making sure that I get a nap every once in a while. So what are your routines around sleep? What needs to be put in place for sleep and rest for you? And then when it comes to hydration, oh my God, my feet are completely asleep right now. Like totally asleep. When it comes to hydration, really looking at, are you winging your water? Do you intentionally drink a certain amount of water in the morning? For me, I drink 20 ounces of water every morning when I wake up. It's just part of the deal. I don't even think about it. Just slam 20 ounces of water. Sometimes if it's cold, I make it hot and I make it into tea. Sometimes when it's hot, I make it into something cold like a fruity water, but I get that hydration in me immediately. And then carrying around a water bottle, typically we'll drink approximately however much water is in our bottle for the day. So do you have a big bottle and you get enough water, or do you have a little bottle and you don't get enough water? So what's your routine around water, or are you just winging it, right? So you have to really understand that all of these routines, obviously fitness routines as well, of what is your routine around fitness, right? All these routines are going to fall into place if you have a strategy and you have a plan. So when it comes to workouts, do you work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Do you do yoga and stretch every morning? Do you take your dog for a walk every evening after work? Like, what is your specific fitness and exercise and activity routine? So ask yourself in each of these 4 areas of your nutrition, your sleep, your water, your exercise, what are the specific routines that need to be in place on a regular basis in order for you to start reaching your goals? Write them down, comment, post them in the group, all that fun stuff. And then the final piece is accountability. Having routines around accountability is important. Having people that you check in with. If there's ever an area of my life I am working on, I have specific check-ins with someone who is helping me in that area. Whatever we focus on is going to flourish. You can say that again. Whatever we focus on is going to flourish. And if we're just winging it by the seat of our pants and like every once in a while we'll be like, oh my God, I'm totally fucking off track. Like, oh, I wonder what happened. Like, of course, because you're not systematically checking in. And this is one of the reasons why pretty much all of my programs have some kind of a live component, because I really believe in the check-in. I believe having a time for people to show up and go, how is everything going? What do I need to work on? In Crash Course and Transformation, we have group call. We literally have 5 group calls a week. So people jump on whenever they have scheduled it for the week. We do one-on-one coaching calls with them every 4 weeks because I want to make sure everyone has those reset points. Or for example, like in the Fat Loss Blueprint, we're doing Q&As every other week. So every other week we're showing up on Zoom and we're checking in with how are things going? Where are you struggling? What do you have questions with? And then moving forward together. So if you're not joining us for one of the programs, which you definitely should, if you're not joining us for one of the programs, what's your accountability routine? Who are you checking in with? Are you just checking in with yourself? We have a program called Roller Derby Training Club. It's $10 a month. It's an app on your phone. It gives you super awesome workouts straight to your phone every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But on every Sunday, we remind everyone in the group, hey, it's Setup Sunday. Check in with yourself. How did last week go? How are you going to do? What do you need to do this next week to take it up a notch? So always having some kind of check-ins in place with someone else specifically has always been helpful for me, because if it's just me, it's so easy to flake on ourselves, you guys. You're so sneaky. You'll find some reason not to do it. So it's important that you really who's your buddy? Who is your ride or die? That's why I'm such a huge proponent of community. It's why all my programs have a community aspect, because we need people to check in with each other, right? We need that for ourselves. And so as we come to the end of day 4 of coaching, your mission coming out of this coaching session is to come up with your routines. What does your daily or weekly routines look like for your nutrition? What does your daily routines look like with your rest? What does your weekly, daily routines look like with your fitness, right? What are you going to do for your daily routines for your hydration? How are you setting those things up so that you are ready to go walking out the door each day and not just winging it? What are you doing with your morning and evening routines? What are you doing in terms of your mindset and your gratitude routines so you can be less stressed out? Okay, so now is the time to write these things down, post them in the group for each of the areas, so that you guys can give each other ideas, so that you can encourage each other, and obviously for the accountability routine of showing the fuck up for yourself and everyone else. Now, as we come into the weekend, and I'm going to give you your way to move and your way to eat here in a second. As we come into the weekend, you have a couple of pieces of homework. So this week, the rest of the week, coming into this week, what you're going to do is you will be, my brain just stopped working. So you're going to put together all of the pieces that we've already talked about. So your job this week is to make your routines, okay, and start putting them into action. Now, when it comes to, for example, the way to move, today I'm going to give you a yoga video. And so coming into Saturday and Sunday, tomorrow, let me tell you your way to move for tomorrow. So today's way to move is going to be a yoga video called I'm Not a Yogi, I Just Stretch a Lot. That will be in the link with this link. And then your way to move tomorrow is you're going to do what we call in Crash Course, #ButDidYouDie. #ButDidYouDie is 100 burpees for time. Now don't freak out. I know it's 100 burpees for time and you're like, fuck you, Chrissy Crash, fuck you very much. But here's the deal. The reason that I'm having you do 100 burpees for time is because it is one of the best ways to notice where does your mind go when something gets hard. In fact, I'm willing to bet that some of you already have been like, nope, not doing it. And I ask you, where else in your life do you count yourself out before you've even considered the possibility of being able to do it? So there's a lot of different ways you could do 100 burpees for time. You could do, my brain just stopped working. You could do 50 sets of 2 burpees. You could do 20 sets of 5 burpees. You could do 10 sets of 10 burpees, right? So you could do 5 burpees and then you could, wait a little bit and then do 5 more and then do 5 more. You could do it sets of 2, sets of 3, whatever works best for you, but I want you to get through it because I want you to see that at the end of it, you didn't fucking die. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what your burpees can look like. Okay, so burpees can look a couple different ways. They could look like a regular burpee. You drop down to the ground, hop up wide, and hop up and jump. That's one way to do a burpee. The next way, hands down, step out, knees down, all the way down, all the way up, step in, up. So you can choose either of those modifications or anything in between them. It's literally get your booty down to the ground, get it back up again, do it 100 times. And I want you to notice where your brain goes. Notice what happens in your mind tomorrow when you try to do this. I can't do this. This is hard. Why am I so weak? And I want you to start intentionally starting to shift what's going on in your brain. So go with things like you're almost there. Only 5 more sets of 5, right? I got all the way through a half marathon, through an entire marathon going, okay, I only have to do, I got through the first 2 miles. I go, okay, I just got 3 sets of 8 miles left. Just 2 sets of 8 miles left. Just 1 set of 8 miles left. Only 2 sets, 12 miles left. And literally, it just allows your brain to chunk it down. You can also start saying things like, dude, you can do this. You can do this. I got you. You're doing great. You're doing great. You've got this. You've got this. The amount of internal cheerleading that I do is one of the number one reasons why I've been able to create the life that I've been able to create. Because in hard situations, in scary situations, that cheerleader brain has gotten me through things that there is no way I would have gotten through without it. There's no way I could have sold all my shit and left the country if I wasn't going, you got this, babe. You're almost there. You've got a couple things left on your to-do list, right? This stuff applies to every area of your life, and 100 burpees for time is a great way to unleash what it is that little voice in your brain is saying. So today, way to move, yoga video. Tomorrow, way to move, #ButDidYouDie, 100 burpees for time. Saturday and Sunday, pick whichever ones we've already done and do them again. So for today, your way to eat is I want you to think about fats. So fats are an important part of our diet. Normally, I don't focus on where am I getting my fats in? Because typically they find their way in pretty easily through your dressings, your oils, nuts, things like that. So I'm never really like, where's the fat? I find that as long as I focus on where's the protein, where's the carbs, where's the veggies, the fats tend to find their way in, okay? Now, if you are someone who is maybe a little bit more sedentary, and for example, if I've ever injured, I typically focus more on proteins, veggies, and fats than proteins, veggies, and carbs, because the fats break down slower. And so they tend to keep you a little bit fuller longer. So if you're someone who's super sedentary, a lot of times it's great to focus on proteins, veggies, and fats, because then you can stay fuller while you're like sitting around doing what you're doing, versus like if you were super active and like really focusing on fat, you'd just be like really full and nauseous all the time, which is why we do PVC when you're active. So today I just want you to notice, where are your fats? So you can just hashtag fun fats and take a look at where are the fats, the primary fats coming from in your meal plan as you are doing your food log. And just notice which are the foods that are highest in fats, and are they real fats or fake fats? So notice, are the higher fat things that you're eating, are they coming from avocado? Are they coming from almonds? Are they coming from olive oil? Like, where are they coming from? Or are they coming from fake fats? Like, are they coming from like pizza, or, you know, like sugar, or what, like from chocolate or whatever? Notice, are you getting high quality, really good fats, or are you getting fake fats, shitty fats, gross fats? And so, like I said, your way to think today is to post 3 different routines that you're going to improve and how they're going to look. So what are the 3 routines that you're going to focus on the most, and how are they going to look? And so coming into this week, you're focusing on putting all the nutrition together for the rest of the weekend. You're gonna pick, obviously, hashtag but did you die tomorrow. Be sure to post your sweaty selfies so we can recognize you. And then coming into the weekend, picking a couple more workouts and doing them, or take a rest day. You've been working really hard this week. And then be sure to comment in the chat below, or direct message me. Comment below with KCIT, or comment below with FLBP, Fat Loss Blueprint, if you want to learn about either of those programs. You can also direct message me if you're unsure which program is best for you. I do have many programs coming up, so you can just shoot me a quick direct message. I've actually probably messaged all of you today to just check in with everyone, so you can just reply back to me there. And congratulations, you are over halfway done with the 7-day challenge. I'm so excited to watch you guys crush it this weekend. And just congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us. I love running these 7-day challenges. I love seeing who like shows the fuck up and really does the work. It's so cool. So whether you showed up and you did the work, or whether you're like, oh, I kind of bailed on this one, like, don't worry about it. Probably signing up for this for you was a bigger deal than anything you've done before. So give yourself permission, acknowledge yourself for the fact that like you are one step closer, because you're starting to think about your health. You're starting to think about getting in shape. So don't worry about it. Now just figure out what's the next thing. And I would love for the next thing to be us working together. So I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you on the flip side, whether it's in the Facebook group, on my Instagram page, or wherever it is you read and listen to the things that you love, maybe the podcast. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you later.